Welcome everybody from wherever you are tuned in, watching this very first episode of the many programs that are going to be coming here on this channel. They're going to be very educative, they're going to be very inspiring, and to help us also change the narrative, especially for immigrants that are living in America, including myself and so many others out there. I won't speak on their behalf, but I'll speak on behalf of the ones that I know that have said all kinds of negative things about life in America being so hard, being so difficult, being, and somebody one time said, oh, this country can be a curse, But we also know there are people that are working hard to change that narrative. And on this program, we're going to be featuring so many different faces and personalities that are going to help us to tell the story of how they have got where they are, the challenges they've had to go through, but also the success story that they have become today. Because all of us come in this country many times, maybe as adults, maybe in your 20s, in your late 30s, and sometimes it is hard for you to figure out where to start from. So today we are privileged to have a good friend of mine, a man that I love. He's a father, he's a husband, and even his wife is good friends with me. I know his kids, so it's been a very big privilege for me to know and to work with Herman in his life. And Herman is a doctor here in Boston, Massachusetts. Herman, we are so honored to have you today, sir.
My pleasure. I've been looking forward to this moment. Thank you for hosting me.
And I don't take it for granted, because I know you're a very busy person. So dragging you off the kind of work you have to be doing and being here on this platform, it means a lot. I mean a lot to us. And as I've introduced, maybe you might introduce yourself, tell us your full title here in America, and then we'll start our program.
My title is, it can be a long one, but my name is Herman Ainebyona. I am Ugandan. I've lived in America for 10 years, maybe 11, 10, 12. 12. Time flies.
Time flies.
So 12 years I've lived in America, because I landed in 2014. And my journey for those 12 years has been interesting. But my title, which is what you asked, I am a doctor of nursing practice, and I specialized in psychiatry and mental health.
Doctor of what does that mean? Help us understand with the layman.
They call it, so the people who are familiar with the terms, they call it a DNP. So a doctor of nursing practice. It's the highest level. It's like a doctorate in nursing. However, it's a more of a practice. So you can be a doctor of philosophy, and you can be a doctor of practice. So a doctor of practice is the actual patient-facing side, and the doctor of philosophy is the more academic degree of that title. So just like any other degree, nursing has processes, it has. So this is the highest level. You can't study anymore after this, unless you can study something else, but you can't study anymore after this. So it's the doctor of nursing practice. So you start the usual process. We know bachelor's. Okay, I'm starting a few steps higher, because it can be here. You can start a little lower. There are opportunities to start a little lower. But you can start bachelor's, then you go master's, then doctor is what I am. Yeah.
I mean, your story is definitely, as we're going to be telling the people, we want first of all paint the picture of where you started from and how long it has taken you to be where you are in terms of your studies. But before even going to the story, I want us to know, so how do you, because I know your background, you told me earlier that when you're still in Kampala, you were doing engineering. You did engineering. Where Mukitale? Where?
Yeah, I did my engineering.
So you did engineering?
Yeah, I did telecommunications engineering for 4 years. I did that on a government scholarship. I went to Ntare School. I got a government scholarship. Then I did engineering, telecommunications engineering. But then I think either I was impatient or destiny, and because I didn't when I finished my last exam, I looked for a job for 6 months. And within those 6 months, I had an opportunity to get a visa that brought me here. And I said, if I don't get a job in 6 months, I'll go in America and try my luck.
Wow.
And so the 6 months hit, there was no luck. So I came here and started the hustle, the American hustle.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew it was a hustle. I knew it was difficult because I had traveled before. I had been to England, which is where my sister is, and I had seen how living abroad looks like. You know, the cold, you know, the small spaces, the tight spaces, the tight budget, everything is tight. So I was mentally prepared. I hesitated to come if I had got a job. If I had got a job in a different company, I probably would have stayed, but an opportunity came and I came along with it. Yeah.
Wow. So let's go to how now you've entered America, landed. What is your first job?
When I landed, so my mind, I came to
study.
No, I came to work.
To work, yes, to work.
Because I couldn't find a job. So I came, I was hosted by one of my friends who was also my best man. His name is Yunus. We grew up in the same village back home. So he had visited from America. He had been here 10 years before he came. Before he came to Uganda. When he came to Uganda, I saw him and said, you know, I have a visa, but I really don't want to come. If I come though, would you host me? He said, yeah, sure. His mom had a house. He lived with his mom. So they hosted me for about 3 or 4 years. But when I came, I was in the house for 3 days. And I asked, what am I going to do? I asked them, how can I make money? And they said, oh, you can do this, you can do that, but the easiest thing is to start babysitting. It made most sense to me. I wasn't documented. So I went, you know, there are community groups, people who announce, hey, we need a babysitter here, or we need. So I saw something that suited me. Someone was looking for a babysitter for 2 boys. And I said, I want to try it. And they were paying handsomely. I mean, I wasn't getting that money in Uganda, so it was $250 a week then.
Oh, okay.
So that when you've been here 3 days, you do the math and you're like, and then I connected.
700 around there.
Yeah, 700 a week, and it is expense free.
Because you're living there, it's a living.
Actually, my biggest savings came from babysitting. Crazy. My biggest savings came from babysitting because everything is free. You don't have a single bill. You only pay your phone bill. So $250, I could save $200 a week. I could save $800 a month.
So your mindset was on saving, not becoming the Schwarzenegger back of Uganda. I think that's the challenge that we have.
Yeah.
That you get. I mean, again, I know you as a very frugal guy.
No, you don't do that. You can't do that.
What I mean is, you save.
It makes sense.
Like every dollar matters to you. And
yeah, I think you work hard for money, right? I think you should think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a brain for nothing. It's so hard to have money. It's not. I mean, people say you can get rich quick or whatever. I haven't found that to be the case.
So you are saving your 200 at least a week.
Yeah.
From this babysitting, and then how do you progress from there?
So eventually I got my papers. My papers came. Actually, my visa was acquired through my mom. My mom was staying
immigrant
here.
Visa, yeah.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to come documented, quote unquote. But when you arrive, between when you arrive and when you can start, it's like a whole year to get those papers, everything lined up. So for me, I wanted to work. So that's how I ran into babysitting, and then And then I used to take these kids to the bus, pick them up, serve them food, and clean around, organize things, prep them for school, pick them up, make sure they've eaten. The mom would cook. It was a single mom, and as you know, sometimes single moms need that help. She had to work, so she left me with the kids. So I did that for 8 months.
Saving your money.
Saving. It's so funny that my boss sometimes would borrow money from me.
Wow.
Because you know, one time her mom visited and they didn't have money for a ticket. They said, "Oh, my check will be in a few weeks." What do I? They looked frustrated, and the mom, because the mom, when she visited from Uganda, she stayed that days with me in the house, and we would talk and blah blah blah. So they were really stuck with it. So I said I could give you some money, and so
wow.
I was happy about it. It felt good. It was rewarding in that sense that I wasn't doing it for nothing, and not everyone could save. So that's something I always ask myself. You hear people making so much money, right? I always tell people, don't tell me how much you make, tell me how much you save, right? What you make doesn't matter if you spend it all.
Yes.
How much do you save?
Yes.
You get.
Wow.
So that's how I started. I did babysitting 8 months. Then I got my papers. Then I started applying, and the first job I got, the first formal job I got in America, was to work in a grocery store. A grocery store.
Just an upgrade.
Yeah,
it's a big upgrade.
But I didn't leave.
Oh, you kept the other job as well?
So I used to take the kids to the bus and walk. I didn't have a car, so walk to the store next where we used to do the grocery shopping. Because if I left, I would walk into bills, which is not my thing.
Yes.
I don't like paying bills.
Yes.
So if I left, I would need to pay rent. I need to find transportation. So when I was applying for jobs, I applied for jobs that are within walking distance. Even in the winter, I could walk, like 10-15 minute walk. So then I actually I could save so much more. I drop the kids at 8, I'm at work at 9, I leave at 2. I did 6 hours. That was good money for me. I was making $13 an hour.
That's nice.
So 5 days a week I could afford to, to save. I did that for another maybe 5 or so months, and then they fired me from the babysitting job.
Oh. Did the kids outgrow you, or?
Yeah, the lady brought her sister from Uganda, and she took my job.
Oh.
So
poor guy.
So then I went and then I started having to pay rent and having to buy a car. Now I'm walking into bills, right? You get a car, you get insurance. Now I'm paying rent plus my phone bill. And I did that for about 4 years. However, all along it hurt me that I had a degree that I wasn't using.
I know.
That was the most difficult thing for me. So I tried to apply in different places. So I applied in telecom companies. I applied in electrical companies, because telecommunications engineering is closely aligned with electrical engineering. I applied in electrical companies and telecoms. I did all the interviews, but I didn't even know what equipment they were using. At interviews, they would hand you equipment and say, maybe name the equipment or troubleshoot something. So I couldn't push through. So that's how challenging it was, and it was a very painful time for me. I did that for like a year, trying to sort of get benefit, feel the reward of my degree from home. And then and it didn't work out. So my friend's brother, the friend who was hosting me, my friend's sister, she is a nurse. She is a nurse. You know her. She's Dr. Lady Magova. She said, you can do these things.
The nursing.
You can try the medical world. They say you look like a guy who can do school. and I wasn't for medical, but I was desperate. I didn't like the way I lived. I wanted to better myself. I didn't see myself working at a grocery store for a long time or for the rest of my life. Like that was not where my life would end. So she talked me, she didn't talk me into it. She brought it up, and I said, you know what? Let me go to school and start pursuing this and see how it pays off. And the baddest thing is once you enroll into a nursing program, you start to understand how rewarding it is. And so I enrolled and I stuck there, got so comfortable, and everything is.
So you enroll. So tell us about that. So when you say I enrolled, what did they need? Because now you're an engineer. Telecom engineering. So when you go to university, what did they ask for you to switch?
I went to a community college at first because those are the most affordable. So here there's they call it a 2-year college, which is a community college, and then there's a 4-year college, which is like a proper university. So a 2-year college gives you something that you can call an equivalent of a diploma in Uganda, while a bachelor's gives, a 4-year college gives you a bachelor's, an equivalent of a bachelor's in Uganda. So I went to a 2-year college. I actually did a GED.
What's that? Is it like what the
like
test?
It's like a qualification, like a high school equivalent qualification.
Okay.
I didn't present my degree right away.
Yeah, because that's what the community colleges do here.
Yeah.
If you want, like, if I tried one time to enroll for a community college, they told me, well, if you have a degree in Uganda, you don't have to declare that. So you have to come in as high school, because they wanted to give me like a scholarship.
A scholarship, yeah.
So they said that's the only way you can enter.
Exactly. So they think about it like this in this country. If you have a bachelor's degree, right, you are sort of well off. Well, they say, I say well off, but not like in the actual meaning of well off. You're better educated than many people.
Yes.
And they want to encourage people to go to school. So if you have a bachelor's degree, why should they pay for you to go to school if you already have that qualification, right?
Yeah, I see that.
So it's sort of like a motivator, to stimulate people who are either not going to school or don't want to go to school or dropped out, had a pregnancy, right? Say, if you dropped out of high school, you can do this high school equivalent exam, all right? Once you do that high school equivalent and you pass, we will support you through school. And so you can start at the community college level and then go up that way. So that is a smart thing. Because people are so attached to their Ugandan degrees when they come here, just like myself. I know the feeling, right?
Oh, yes.
You're like, no, I did my 4 years. You're like, why are they starting me from below? But it's of advantage to you if you say, right, this is where I am, right? You accept the place you're at and try to adapt. So that's how I entered school, community college. I did those exams. I do 4 exams. You do like a math test, English test, like a social studies test, and a science test. You do like...
How is that math test? Most Ugandans are afraid of that math test.
No, there's nothing. Is
it basic algebra?
I have...
Because you are an engineer.
Yeah.
So when you say there's nothing...
I am I'm advantaged in that
It can be rocket science.
It can be complex.
Yes.
It can be complex, but you can prep for it. You can practice. There's lots of materials online. And the exams here are not too complicated. I mean, they can be hard, don't get me wrong, but if you're diligent enough, you can do it. Anyone can do it. So let me put it this way. If you finished S4 or if you did S3, you can do a GED exam.
Oh,
easy.
Okay.
Yeah, S3 dropout, you're fine.
So if you came here from Uganda
in
senior 3 or senior 4 dropout,
yeah,
you can just do that qualification. Once you get it, it gives you like a high school equivalent here. Then you enroll.
You enroll. Yeah. And even if you didn't do that, I've seen people who didn't go to school at all become nurses.
How long is that process? How easy is that process for them then?
It's much more challenging, of course, right? I am an engineer, right? If I sit a math exam, it takes me 15 minutes, right? Someone who didn't do math, they might take longer. So you need to understand where you are. You're like, okay, this is my strength, and this is where I'll start from. So you have to study more. They will study more. They will struggle more. I have a very close friend. I won't mention the name, but she failed the nursing exam. She dropped out of nursing school at least 8 times.
Wow.
But now she's a nurse.
Good job.
You get
Good job,
8 times. She's impressive. You look at her and smile. She looks so much better. You know, she's been a nurse only for about 3 years. But ever since I came here, she's been in nursing school. When I went to school, she was trying to be in nursing school. And she she's gone to all nursing programs. She keeps dropping out because of her academics. Some people are not very academic. But sometimes the hard work compensates for that, right? If you put in the work, you most likely will make it happen. So
2 years at the community college, that makes you what now?
2 years
an RN?
Yeah, it makes me a registered nurse. The advantages, and these are things I used to say at church.
I know, because I remember you used to talk to us at church and say, guys, come, let's go back to school. There are all these opportunities. I know you would come with even a notice board in church. I'm
with
like,
a whiteboard and explain how.
And people will just run away after service. Like, I don't want
They're
to be
like,
part of
Herman is here.
Yeah. And you had that inspiration to inspire people to go back to school.
It's possible. It is possible. And a nurse makes what? You know, at the time you made $35 an hour, right? And if I worked in a group home, Mubalaru,
that's right, 18, 17. Yeah.
At the time it was 16, 15
an hour.
You know, my first group home job was $14 an hour. So you're doubling your income. I wonder why.
That was then. Like then, RNs were getting 30 what, but now they are
35.
getting more.
Yeah, now you get
50,
40,
40,
life
45.
is more expensive. Yeah, 40, 45, even a lower level.
I used to see you with a computer at church. Like, what were you doing? Like, you would be working as you are. You would come with a computer at church. I think you were working. What were you doing? But still, as an RN, but still you were working.
Yeah, I could work remotely.
Oh.
So okay. Sometimes I would pick up a Sunday shift and I didn't want to miss church, so I would come with my computer.
Yeah, I used to
and take some calls. So I, you know, it just depends on where you are, and so I wanted people to sort of take advantage of that, because if I am doing something right and you're not, you become a burden to me.
I know.
Right? If
that's deep.
Yeah.
So you didn't want us to be burdens to you.
Yeah, I work hard, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I don't want someone to, you know, and this is the hardest person for me to convince to go to nursing school was my wife.
I know, because we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about, because your wife is a nurse, and I know she's also trying to still push.
Oh yeah, she hasn't started, but she has her eyes on the.
No, your story is. We're definitely going to get there, because you guys, you are a doctor, she's a nurse, you have kids.
Yeah.
So you have so much going on. So your story is big. But tell us, so 2 years to become an RN.
2 years to become an RN, and
what's the LPN also? First, tell us about
the LPN. Is like a certificate level, so it's a 10-month program.
So you can do that before you become an RN.
You can do. Most people go that route, right? They start because they want to study and make money quick, right? So 10 months. However, it's intense and accelerated. You're very likely to drop out if you don't have a good support system around, because you go to school Monday to Friday. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and everything is new. And
you have homework, I'm sure.
A lot of it, right? Like you go to class to get that material, then you go home and study it, because in class you're not. The way they teach here is they just introduce you to topics. Self-study is big. Before I started working, I used to come in church with my summaries from nursing school, because I was an engineering student, right? All this biology stuff I had to practice. I used to listen to stuff in the car. I still used to go out once in a while, but a lot of my time was dedicated to that because I put in the work basically to achieve it. So
so you did your 2 years.
I did my 2 years,
and then you began to work as a nurse.
I began to work
and
as
then
a
you
nurse.
said this is not enough.
I worked as a nurse for 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I worked for one company. So my nursing job was an interesting one. When I finished, I was like, okay, now I'm done. What am I going to do? Everyone says there are opportunities. Usually all people will go, their first nursing job will be in a nursing home or somewhere else, right? But I told myself, I'm going to apply to all the companies that are within my reach. I applied to 20 jobs, right? And I'll do all those interviews if they call me. And whoever pays me the highest is the job I'm going to go with. It doesn't matter what. Because as a nurse, you can work in the office, you can work in the hospital, you can work in a group home, you can work remotely, you can work in many places. You can work in people's homes, you can work in operating rooms, you can work almost anywhere. And I think I was talking to you one time when I said a banking job or a business job has one job in a day. Right?
From 8 to 4, most likely.
From 8 to 4.
And the bank closes.
And the bank closes.
And nobody needs you anymore until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. You call help desk, they say our offices are closed right now. Call back tomorrow, our working hours. For a nurse, it doesn't stop.
There are no working hours.
That's why I could work on Sunday, right? So the job market is humongous. Huge, right? You can't, like, there can't be, sometimes they speculate, oh, there's too many nurses. There can't be enough. There can't be enough. And some of those jobs, they're not jobs that people who are born here like to do. So most of us immigrants run to that space, and it pays decent. So you think about the return on investment. Let me tell you about the return on investment for those 2 years before I tell you anything else. I went to school for the 2 years, but from all the scholarships I got, I was making $300 a month from going to school.
Just for studying. So
they didn't plan on paying me that, but I looked at the opportunities and applied for all those scholarships. Because healthcare is really well funded, because Massachusetts and America, the need is there. So they put a lot of money in that. Foundations, hospitals, the government itself, the state itself, state taxes, I put a lot of money. So if you want a scholarship, like, you know that in Massachusetts, once you have a high school diploma, you can go to community college for free. For free.
Is nursing among those degrees that are for free also?
Of course. The first ones are healthcare, mental health, healthcare, anything healthcare. Those jobs, you can go there. The COVID scare also intensified that, right? So you can go there for free. Then you can apply for other scholarships. And once you have a scholarship, if it's, for instance, a foundation, it sends a check to your school. And since your school is already covered, you can use that check to buy some books, and they'll refund that money into your account.
It's got the remaining balance.
Wow. It comes to your account. So that's how I could make, at the end of the semester, I had a boost of $2,000. So I had good morale to go to school, right?
So that's why they were paying you to study.
They were paying me to study. I had good, I was motivated enough to go to school, right?
Wow.
Because everyone wants to make some extra bucks, right? But you're getting money and you're getting the qualification. You're looking at doubling your income in a few years, in 2 years, right?
Wow.
You'll double your income and you'll get paid while doing it. Why not? So I did that for 2 years. You also get tax refunds, right? So as a student, you get tax deductions. The money you spent, you can claim books, you can claim tolls, you can claim gas. The only thing you can't claim is like rent. You can claim an internet service because you're using the internet to study, right? All that you can put on your tax return and the government gives you that money back.
So you, in terms of money, on average, how much does a nurse make in Boston? Because I know the payments vary. There are nurses in Florida, but I'm told Boston pays better.
Boston pays well. California pays best. But Boston pays a significant amount. I know nurses who are RNs, like at diploma level. I know nurses who are making $80 an hour. $80 an hour. I know nurses who are making as low as $45 an hour. So you can fall anywhere between that, based off what you're doing, your experience.
How about these travel nurses? I hear talking about travel nurses.
Yeah, travel nursing also pays well. I mean, any field. So it's convenience. It's what works for you. Travel nursing can be good if you are someone who likes to travel, explore new things. You don't have family commitment. You're flexible like that.
Like it's from one state to another.
Yeah. But I can't tell you one single nursing opportunity that will pay more than the other.
Oh yeah.
They are all competitive. Like I know home health nurses, like they are contracted with the state and they make $85 an hour. They come home, they have the home has someone who's disabled, for instance, like an extensively sick child, right? A child was born with complications, or like a cancer patient, right? They've just undergone radiation. They can't feed themselves. They have tubes all over. They need machines to breathe, right? But they are in the home. So that nurse comes and they make $85 an hour, sometimes $90 depending on the case. So you could make more than a travel nurse. It's just that travel nursing is sometimes hyped because agencies who are looking for that also get a commission of it, so it is more advertised and it looks good on social media.
Is there a limitation to how many jobs you can have as a nurse?
No.
Like to manage your hours, like you can work 3 jobs.
You can work till you drop dead.
So let's put it on average and say if a nurse is hard working, at least in Boston, a year, you can make an average of 160 grand. Let's say on the minimum, maybe. Let's say on that.
Yeah, depends
if
on
you're hard working.
If you're aggressive.
And you're not,
yeah. I know a nurse. Jobs. I know a nurse who filed 240,000 last year.
Oh yeah, that one has like 3 jobs or 4.
No, 2.
2 overtime.
2.
Maybe overtime.
Overtime, but also $80 an hour. If you're making $80 an hour.
80.
And you're doing 40 hours a week. How much is that? 80 times 40 is 3,200 a week. And there are 52 weeks in a year. So 3,200 times 50 is 150 grand right there. Right? If you have a second job,
which can,
So 240.
I mean, for me to think of you begin from making $14 an hour.
Yeah.
And now just going back to school.
I started at 250 a week.
And now going back to school can push you to 4,000 a week. It's possible.
It can double your income. It can triple your income. If you have the space to, how you have to schedule and all that, but if you have that space to do it, you can do it.
So fast forward, you've done nursing, you've done some good money, you still feel the penchant to go back to school.
Yeah.
Why?
This time more for privilege than money.
So what pushes? Okay, privilege.
Because as a nurse, you take orders from a provider, a prescriber, a doctor. So you are seeing the patient 80% of the time. How much time do you spend with your doctor in a visit room?
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Sometimes we even are scared, we immigrants. You feel like you're wasting your
time.
Yeah.
They look so busy all the time.
Anything else? No, sir. No.
So a doctor comes in for 10 minutes and makes the decision for a nurse to implement. Right? Because the nurse is the one who will give you your immunization, for instance. Nurse will give you your medication. So for me, I saw the patient, right? I assessed the patient. I wanted to be able to make decisions for that patient.
For the patient.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I I, after 6 years of working with, I kept that job for 6 years because it's my best job. Like some of my friends came to my graduation from work. It's rare here where you keep, but we are a very close niche. Anyway, I just went back to school because I wanted some more autonomy, some more decision making for my patients. And it gave, you know, and so I went back. I applied to a university in Worcester. It's a teaching hospital. It's a medical school. And so I did part-time the whole time. So I did it for 4 years to my doctorate.
4 years.
4 years. But
that's a huge commitment.
It's a very slow pace, 2 days a week.
Oh, so if you had done accelerated,
if I could have,
how would it have been?
I could have done it in 3 years, maybe
3 years accelerated.
Yeah, accelerated 3 years, and that is school for 3 days a week. So I did it very, very low pace.
So you do that, and now you are in.
I did that, got my master's. I got my master's last year, and then did one more year of my doctorate. It's like a bridge program. So you sign up to get the doctorate, but in passing, you get your master's in passing.
So 4 years plus 2 brings it to 5. You want some water?
Yeah. Oh, you say
4 years for this one.
Oh, you're counting the 2 years from the community college.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the 2.
Plus 2, 6 years. And now you can prescribe and say, you know, you take this medication, don't take that. You need this, you need that. You make more decisions. So the pay comes.
The pay, yeah, that's where I wanted to go. Because, you know, money is a very sensitive
motivating
topic, but it also motivates. So if at a nursing level, you could, nurses could make, let's say there are some who could make like 80 an hour. At your level, let's say, we're talking about like what, 100? Don't be scared. No one is going to come and knock at the door. We want people to know that it is possible to move from babysitting and go to maybe working as a clerk and then move to this place where you can
I mean, you know, you can make 1.5 more of what you've made. So if you're aggressive enough, you can just, it's not much more money necessarily. It is more of the privilege and the benefits, right? And the security, right? Because as a nurse, you can get fired easily. It's not, they don't think about you too much. But a provider, you have that sense of, I am valued. You feel, so it is, the money is, it can be there if you really do it for the money.
Is good.
But also the privilege is, you know, it gives you that sense of esteem. You feel, you go to work and you feel valued at work. It's not like me who was working in a grocery store, stocking shelves.
I mean, this is a white collar. I saw you recently, you were putting on the white collar, and that really meant a lot, because seeing you, now that I envision it in my head, there was a time you were staying in somebody's house. I think what time you told me you were sleeping in a chair.
I was sleeping in a couch.
Sleeping in a couch, in a sofa. How long was that?
3 years.
For 3 years you were sleeping in a chair.
Yeah.
So you come in this country for 3 years.
I didn't have a bedroom. Well, I don't want to paint it too badly, but it was mostly by choice.
That's the story.
I mean, it was mostly by choice because I wanted to save. I could have found an apartment and paid $2,000 a month, right? But I wanted to save and buy my own house, because it sounded tough on my ears hearing that people pay $2,000 in rent. It's like, how can you afford that? How do you live off? Do you understand? So I made the decision that I'll never rent an apartment, and so I made the decision to be as
you are
cheap
in your
as
chair for your
going
3 years,
going to school,
saving your money, as your peers are moving on in life and seeming to be advancing.
Because they looked better.
That's
my mom once asked me, "Are you crazy?"
That's the challenge.
Olimuloge is what she told me. Like, how can you stay here for
exactly
for this long without go find a place of your own. And I bought my house in March. So I bought my house before I graduated school.
As RN?
No.
Before RN? Or
before RN. So
before
I told
RN.
you, yeah. As I told you, I like
there was that period. Yes.
So I had saved my down payment. By March, I was closing on the house.
Wow.
March 2018. And then in December 2018, I graduated as an RN.
Wow.
So it's not nursing money that bought me the house.
Yes.
It's my habits.
I'm assuming that saving was around what, 30,000?
Around 30,000,
40,000. 40,000. Because you need, what's the percentage in that was giving on the house? 10?
Generally they said 20% for a down payment. However, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can go as low as 3%. The lower your down payment, the higher your interest rate.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you have little money to put down, you're going to pay much more.
Let's say you have 15 grand.
Yeah.
Another person has 30 grand.
Yeah.
So the interest rate for the 30 grand would be less.
Might be a very tiny bit less, but a tiny bit, like even 0.001 of 300,000.
It means a lot.
Yeah. It's still.
But that's serious. You managed to save that money, at the same time you are studying.
Yeah.
Because I know when you're studying, your working hours are also few and less, but you have that money. Before you graduate as an RN, you have bought your house.
I have bought my house.
I think you were among the first people that bought a house in the church where we were.
I was the
first. Yeah, you were the first, I remember.
The first, yeah.
And you kept on advancing and modernizing your house.
Yeah.
At one point when we went back, it was what, a 3-storied house?
Yeah.
It used to be 1-story or 2-story?
Yeah. It used to be two levels. Then we made it 4 now. It has
now it is a 4-storied house.
Yeah.
And you have tenants as well.
Yeah.
Or you never pay English.
But
you have tenants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about it. I told you that from going to school, I got an income.
Yes.
So many people attribute going to school to not making enough money. However, I'm telling you that it's possible to go to school
At the same time,
have some money. It might not be as much as the one, we like money from our sweat, right? You're like, hey, I feel this check, I worked for this check. But if you're a little bit strategic and thoughtful on your decisions, return on investment.
Dr. Herman is giving us the picture of how his story began. If you're just joining us, if maybe you just stumbled on this podcast, on this YouTube, on this vlog, he's been giving us a story of how he began his journey here in America, from being a babysitter and then moving on to working, as a clerk in a grocery store, and then going back to school, making up his mind to go back to school to study and becoming an RN. We talked about the journey of how far he went, and now we are almost coming to the end of the story, but he still has some details to give unto us. So at the point when we took the break, we were at the place where you finished your nursing, you've done your RN, and now you've also finished your doctor,
my doctorate.
You have your gown now. You have gone beyond an LPN. You have gone beyond an RN. You are way above that. We talked about the finances, because as the higher you go in this country, the thing I love about school is that it rewards you. You'll get rewarded for that.
It is it is nearly a guaranteed way to increase your income, because you can get a promotion, right? From doing the same job, you become a manager without education and you get some increment. But if you go to school, you can't just be a manager at one company, you can be a manager at more companies. So it's a guaranteed way to add value to yourself, as they used to tell us.
And for you now, I want us to still talk about school. Are you still looking at yourself still continuing with school, or you now a bit comfortable where you are?
I am not motivated enough to go back to school. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I am not. I think there's not much more school to go to, unless if going to school pays me, then pays me handsomely, then I would consider it. But I've done school for many years. The part I missed is my bachelor's degree, the role of my bachelor's degree into my master's. After doing my RN, which is an equivalent of a diploma, I didn't have a bachelor's in nursing. That's when my bachelor's from Uganda became valuable, and instead of doing a bachelor's, I did a master's because they recognized that bachelor's at that point. And then I did a master's, and then I did my doctorate. So that degree from Uganda was not completely useless. It paid off, but much later.
Yes.
So I have learned big time that sometimes the quickest way to succeed is not necessarily preparing for it. It is to do it as you go. I didn't project my path, but I knew I wanted to do better. That's what was in my head, and the path has sort of been formed as I actually do it. So that's.
And I want us now to first delve a bit into family. You're a father, you're a husband, your wife is also now. Talk to us about your wife. How do you convince your wife? Because you used to preach to us the gospel of going back to school. I mean, I didn't go back for nursing. I mean, I went for my MBA, which, thankful also to you, I'm finishing in December.
Thankful to me. It's your hard work.
No, but you pushed us. You pushed us a lot. And I remember that same time, your wife also was among the people that you were pushing to go back to school. And how do you finally convince her? And what was her background? Was she also in the same line in Uganda, or?
No, she has a bachelor's degree in insurance. That's what her original qualification from Uganda is. But she used to see me, we were dating at the time, she used to see me spend so much time in this school thing, and she didn't understand it. Because she would go and make so much money. Her check was always heavy. And everyone is here generally to make a good check. But I tried to tell her, let's do this together, and it didn't work. So I somehow gave up on her and said, I will tell you by showing you. So I just went to school. And eventually she just caught on and she just caught on, and especially when she was pregnant, she couldn't work as many shifts as she originally was doing. So she came to me one day and said, I signed up. She didn't even tell me. I signed up and I'm starting the program.
Wow.
And I was happy for her. She if you talk to her now, it's the best decision she's ever made. She regrets why she didn't do it sooner. And that's why, everyone, like if you're watching this, or if you're wherever you are, and if you're thinking of something, I think you'd rather fail now than fail later. So you want to start now. Do you understand? Because later might be a little too late. But if you do it, everything you want to do, you want to try it, to give it your best shot now and see how it comes out. She's now an RN. She helped me through my doctorate because she could afford to. So I wasn't working at the time. I had to see patients for school. They're called clinical rotations and things like that. So I didn't work for a whole year, and she could afford.
Yeah, talk about that, because I remember you used to tell us those stories that now I'm a stay-home dad.
Yeah.
And I'm working part-time.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that, because especially we as African men, we feel so much entitled that, even that's why even it's hard for some to go back to school, because we feel like, how can I be back in school? I should be working and but you make a decision to go back to school. Talk to us about the season where you almost became like the stay-home dad, and then she was working.
Yeah. Because
you're supposed to go back to school.
I was in school. I couldn't drop out. I had done 2 years already. But before I started school, when she was in her last year of school, I said, we had started having kids. So I said we didn't have a babysitter, and I told her, we sat down and talked about it. Our situation demanded that one of us stayed home. And she, not having a qualification at the time, I couldn't stay home because I was bringing in the better income. So it was more strategic for me to go to school and she stay home while she betters herself. And so I said, you know, you're doing this, let's do this now. You'll stay home, watch the kids, and go to school. And that's your only responsibility. You don't have to worry about work. And when you're done with school and I go back to school, I can stay home and go to school, and you can run the home. And that it was sort of a deal. So later I needed to, you know, school. So at the beginning of school, it's not too demanding, but towards the end, it becomes a little bit more demanding. And you know, if you have to work and go at the same time, it's just more comfortable, especially with kids in the picture. Just more, not comfortable. Well, it's just easier to not work and just focus on one thing or two things at the same time. That is school and the kids. That's how we did it. So
you have your 3 kids now?
I have three children,
kids.
Yeah.
You have a wife. How about now? Talk to us briefly also about the fact that you are both career parents. You're both in very, I'll say, rewarding professions, but also very demanding. How are you juggling with the kids?
I am learning day by day. Learning day by day. Parenting is a lifelong lesson, I guess, right? One of the doctors I work with told me, "Oh, no, the problems don't go away; they just change." You know, we've had to have someone at home stay with the kids while we go to work. Both of us go to work. We try to make time with the kids. We try to make sure we are in the most important routines for the kids, which is morning routine and bedtime routine. Those things are very valuable to us. But again, we thank God that we are able to afford someone to stay home with the kids while we go to work. And we have so much help from friends. I mean, many of our friends have babysat our kids.
Yes.
That's a very important thing. One of the things you want to leverage as you walk this journey is your social supports. Anyone you've seen people who say, I'm community into Uganda, you know?
So again,
I think they struggle more. It's much harder to achieve that way. You know, the Wilsons have babysat our kids. Sometimes we've left them there and traveled out of the country. All of our friends, the Michaels, the Evas, they've kept our kids. So it's very valuable to leverage that, and we use that. We use my mom. We use every resource around us. We utilize it while juggling. I don't think we can be there for our kids enough. I wish I could be there more, but it's all important. Everything we are doing is important.
Let's talk about the rewarding part of nursing, of being what you are now. Of course, you told us, the thing about your story is that you had already bought a house before you even began to touch money from nursing.
Yeah.
You already had bought a house.
Yeah.
You modernized it. I know you have a lot you've done. Recently we were at one event, of course we don't want to go into that, but at least we know that between you and your wife in this country, you have some properties that you've been able to acquire. And I want you to speak to somebody out there who thinks going back to school is a waste of time. Is an immigrant, came back in this country, maybe just stuck in he's maybe it's paid. Sometimes we have those private jobs. Maybe they're giving you $25 an hour.
Yeah.
Just talk to someone who thinks going back to school is a waste of time in this country, especially as an immigrant, and what the challenges are going to be in life if we do not add value to ourselves.
Wow, that's a broad question, and you yourself could even talk about that, right? You could. I mean, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? look at the examples around you to start with. Because if you want to do something, who do you ask?
Of course, your friends.
You ask your friends, but you also ask someone who's done it before, right? Look at the people who have gone to school and ask them if they regret that decision. Most of the people will tell you it's the best decision of my life. Most, if not all. The challenge is that you're talking to someone who hasn't done it, right? If you hear people say, oh, school is so hard. Well, school is hard even in Uganda. School is hard everywhere, right? It's everything good is hard to achieve. So what are you going, you have to choose. Someone said you have to choose your hard. Are you going to hustle?
Oh yeah. Or choose a simple life now and then become harder in future.
Yeah. Are you choosing, which hard are you choosing? The harder now or the harder later, right? You can be comfortable now and then later it becomes harder. Or be comfortable now, or take it hard now and then be a little bit more comfortable later. So it's a choice. It's generally a choice, and going to school is certainly not the wrong one.
And also the aspect of respect. Let's end with that one, because you told me, when I had come in this country, my first job I think was at a McDonald's. I worked also in a nursing home as a janitor, which was really very degrading, dehumanizing. Knowing where we've come from, and then you come here, and then you can't land the dream job you have.
A whole WBS
I know,
TV report.
But talk to us now that when you enter the hospital, give us that picture. Then you would go in as an RN. Now you enter the hospital or you enter the facility. Give us the kind of respect. Knowing that, of course, we are black people in this country. We cannot run from that.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't work in our favor sometimes. But with education.
It's hard to describe. It's like asking you to describe racism, for instance. Some things are very hard to describe. But I go to I go to work, first of all, I am a resource. I am seen as a resource. It is very rewarding. You studied that Maslow's pyramid of needs. You've achieved the basic needs. You've achieved the safety needs, right? You go up the ladder and now it's a little bit higher. And as you grow up, some things become a little bit more important than just the check. You don't want people saying, hurry up, or, you're pacing them, right? It gives you a little bit more control than anything lower than that, right? So it's really, really, you have to do it to understand it. But it is a rewarding feeling. Some people, I've seen people quit jobs. Hey, they are rude at work, or you go to a Mukade's place and she's talking to you like nothing, right? Now back at the, they're like, oh, can I have a word with you? Yes. Can I have a minute with you? Yes. Can I, it feels a little bit more satisfying than the other end of that. Yeah.
Because the other end is your life was in their hands. But now their life is in your hands. You determine their quality of life. You determine the medication. You determine even what they can take and how they can. And honestly, for me, as we finished, your story is a story of hope. It's a story that challenges us all to get out of our comfort zones. When I think of you telling us that you spent 3 years in this country, your first 3 years living in a couch, and there were others, your friends, of course, that were maybe at that time already, moving on to apartments and everything. You buy your first house before you even graduate from school. You elevate yourself. You go to school. You work hard, sleepless nights. Now you're a doctor. You your wife also, you push your wife into becoming a doctor, a nurse. Her best friend also is a nurse. I know her friend is a nurse. And like you like, it's a ripple effect, you know, like almost everyone around you, you know, Dr. Lelia is, you know, is also a doctor. So you realize that the people around you, you have also been able to influence them, and they have also been able to influence you. You've gone into home ownership, you know, you are also a landlord in America. So you realize that you came in this country maybe with, let's say, $500. I was assuming on your pocket. I don't know how much you came with.
$300
to be exact. $300 on you. And today, see what, you know, life has become.
It's a whole journey. It's a tough and rewarding 12 years. It's not easy choosing. You know, America is full of choices. It's not easy choosing a couch of an apartment.
I know.
I thank God for my wife, because she knew I didn't have a place, so I used to go to her place a lot, right? So it's tough, but I think every time you sacrifice, there is a reward at the end of that sacrifice, and every time you, what's it called, you reward yourself, you're giving up something else. It's all choice. The biggest thing about me is when I hear something that makes sense to me, it makes sense to me. So my wife struggles with it a lot. Maureen, she tells me, once you believe in something, there's, you know, we are done now. There's nothing we can do about it. But if it makes sense, it does make sense, and I'm doing it regardless.
Well, thank you very much, Herman, and I hope that, you know, those of you who are watching, that you'll find this more inspiring, especially for immigrants who are in this country, because you could be thinking about, maybe you're stuck, you've been here for 5 6 and say, but is it really still possible for me to make value out of myself? As Herman has told us, the good thing about Boston, if you're living in Massachusetts, is that community college is free, at least for starters. Community college, go to the nearest community college and ask what kind of programs they have available. Ask which one you qualify for. You know, he has told us about nursing. You may choose so many others. That's the challenge we have. But he told us about nursing. He could have stayed in technology, but he's realized that this was much easier and moving quicker. So go to your nearest community college, you know, approach them. They have those career counselors. They can talk to you and guide you. It doesn't matter how old you may think you are, but life is going to become way much better, like it is for Dr. Herman, who was earning at some point $200 a week. It can go to a point where you can earn $4,000 a week, even more than that, depending on where you are and which qualification you're in. So thank you very much for watching.
And I like to be a resource.
Yes.
So if people can, if they have comments or questions about scholarship links, I can share some with you to attach to to this post, and people can dig into,
to reach out,
read scholarships if you have questions. It's nice. I've helped like 10 different people through nursing school, and it's not as difficult as they make it sound.
Wow. So yeah, I'll put a link in the comments for some of the scholarships that you can, if you want to go and, you know, try to reach out and see which one can work best for you. Whatever you do, I'm kindly requesting you, do not remain at the same level. This country, the good thing about it, it rewards you. If you work hard, you get rewarded for that. You will not find tendencies of corruption at all. This one is this one. If you work hard in this country, you will be rewarded. Thank you very much, Dr. Herman. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much
and
for hosting me.
And we can't wait to see you again, maybe next time if we have another chance to talk to you.
I'll be very happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.